going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Names, it's the craze for Metaverse is taking over all of my investor conversations. So when you look at, Facebook is increasing their capital expenditures into next year by a whopping 70% to almost $34 billion at the high end. And to help put that in perspective, Facebook is going to spend more in CapEx than Intel, and roughly in line with Taiwan Semiconductor, the world's largest foundry manufacturer of semiconductor equipment, semiconductor chips. So it's just staggering. And those investments are focused in AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So the likes of NVIDIA have benefited tremendously. And obviously they put up enormous numbers last night with their data center business growing mid 50% year on year, accelerating into the forward quarter. Arista into their forward quarter guidance and into calendar 2022, guiding revenues up 30% year on year. So, while it's, you look at some of the valuations of these names, which certainly feel extended, the concept of putting in the infrastructure to facilitate metaverse-driven spend and AI ML workloads continue to increase, like that for sure is, I think, the most important thing to focus on from a technology trend standpoint. I think it is. I mean, Zuckerberg is creating at Facebook is creating an entire separate segment of the company called Facebook Reality Labs, and he's committed to investing billions of infrastructure, and he's not looking to monetize this until potentially the end of the decade. A week after Facebook earnings, Microsoft came out and they started endorsing the concept of the metaverse, probably more from a productivity standpoint. You just envision, everyone like Tom Cruise in Minority Report inside Microsoft Excel, whatever form that takes. But you've got two of the largest tech titans within MFANG endorsing the concept of the metaverse, and they're spending billions in infrastructure to facilitate it. Obviously, Microsoft has Azure on the back end to go ahead and leverage their infrastructure. I think we're going to continue to see the same. I continue to have conversations with, how many metaverses will there be? It's unlikely that we're going to have one universal open metaverse that's interoperable across the board between Microsoft and Facebook. Like, does Apple enter the fray at some point? So yeah, I think it's very real. I think this is long-term in nature. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. The monetization is not going to happen overnight, but the infrastructure-related investments that are occurring associated with it are absolutely real.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And if you have my New World Order book, I talk about the corporations taking over government. And part of the fourth industrial revolution, the way we look at government, the politicians that we see, they will no longer be here. They will be replaced by blockchain. Instead of them coming out and telling us this is the fourth industrial revolution that they're building, they're putting the metaverse in front of your face. We know by understanding the New World Order, they never show you what exactly they're doing. We know the metaverse is to set you up to take you out of reality, where your brain will be stored in the cloud. 5G and Skynet will be activated, and they will be able to control the masses. They are brewing up one of the best distractions in history. And we know it's China versus the United States. I'm going to bring a video in my Patreon this weekend. You don't want to miss it because they're definitely cooking it up. But this was all set up back in the 80s. So while the masses are distracted from the great event and trying to survive, the New World Order is going to move this fourth industrial revolution so fast. The robots, algorithms, and drones would have replaced humanity. And by the time humanity has woken up, they will own nothing, but they will be happy. At least that's what the New World Order says. Because we know, when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
They are inspired by the movie National Treasure. They've raised almost $50 million, and they're out to buy the United States Constitution, at least an early version of it. One of only 13 surviving copies, original first edition copies. It's valued at roughly 20 mil. And who is this mysterious financier? Well, a ragtag group of cryptocurrency investors. They say memes like these featuring Nicolas Cage help them garner interest for the auction. Get in, loser. We're buying the Constitution. And if they get their hands on it, they say everyone who contributed will vote on where to display it. Proceeds go to charity. The group's called Constitution DAO, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And what does that stand for? Well, CNBC.com technology editor Steve Kovac is here. Steve, DAOs are exploding in popularity online. I don't know what they are or how they work.
Yeah, think of it, Chip, like a internet chat room with a really big bank account. That is what these people are. It's decentralized, like everything in the crypto world is, and what we're learning here is that they can direct this energy towards anything, including buying a copy of the Constitution.
Wow. Crypto prices have had a crazy week. I mean, up and down, everybody knows that. Are things like DAOs and NFTs, which are tied up in crypto, here to stay?
Maybe not necessarily NFTs. This could be a fad. These DAOs, they could be a fad as well. But what's really interesting here is the fundamental technology, the blockchain technology that makes all of it possible. That is what technologists are excited about. That is the next wave of the internet that a lot of people think are going to make things possible. Maybe it's NFTs, maybe it's something that hasn't been invented yet, but the fundamental technology is what's proving itself out here.
The auction's supposed to start in exactly 2 minutes. Do we know anything?
Nothing yet. They sold a Banksy for about $1,400 in Ethereum.
Seriously?
Yeah, which is about over $5 million
yeah,
US.
A Banksy.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.